good, yo? Welcome to my review for this week's episode of the 1,000-Year Blood War anime. Man, what an episode this was. This was a phenomenal episode, man. Giselle finally got her comeuppance, man. See what you know. That obviously makes this already a good day, a good episode. Hell, one of the best episodes, I dare say, of the Blood War anime, you know, so far. But in all seriousness, man, this was a fantastic episode, man. We got to see Zombie Toshiro, so I guess so. Curious to know what they're going to be happening with him, and of course what happened with Mayuri, and what's going on with him. Now he can now control the zombies. We'll talk more about that as we get to that part of the episode, man. But yeah, this is just a fantastic episode, man. And yeah, let's just jump right in. So we started the episode off right where we left off last week with Zombie Toshiro making his appearance, man. Of course, Ikaku and Yumachika are shocked to see the captain of Squad 10 is now a zombie, and Yumachika is going to go for Kido, but Ikaku realizes it's not going to do anything against Toshiro's attack, manages to get him out of the way by basically hitting him with a Zanpakuto, although Ikaku wasn't as fortunate as he ended up getting his ice covered up in some, his foot rather, covered up in some ice, and right as he says, like, oh, I'm lucky if it only cost me a leg, right after he said literally that's when Toshiro just stabs him in the shoulder, and right before he's about to go in another attack on Toshiro, Yumachika goes in there to block the attack before he goes for another attack, and then just gets absolutely just bodied by Toshiro, man. He gets him like he slashes him up, hits him with a headbutt, and then this is also pretty ingenious, and like, I'm honestly, after seeing it here, I'm also kind of shocked Toshiro's never used this in battle before, at least to where I am in the original Bleach, and maybe he did use this in like a later arc, you know, because you guys know I'm not even finished the original Bleach anime completely yet, but I honestly do question, like, why hasn't he done this before, where he like has like an ice spike on his knee to get a close range, like a stab on your opponent's mixture that they probably wouldn't be able to see or block, due to, you know, you're also fighting them with like their Zanpakuto. Like, I'm shocked he hasn't done this before, man, but it was a really nice attack, man. Really clever by Toshiro, man. Seriously. Why doesn't he use this more often? It was a really nice attack, man. Anyway, this is when Mayuri comes in there, back into the frame, man. Toshiro goes to attack him, but Mayuri is somehow just like teleports behind him. Don't know how that works. And this is when he, of course, asks that if Toshiro was turned into a zombie. Giselle returns and explains that yes, he is a zombie, that basically that she managed to turn them into zombie right after they die. Their cells are still fresh, so they're able to stay more nimble. So as she continues on her explanation, Mayuri says, "Oh, that's quite laughable. Where's the fun in controlling those without a mind of their own?" And she says, "I wouldn't know. I'm not a sage, man." Once again, Giselle's Japanese voice actor sounded amazing here, man. So then, this is when the flamboyant Arrancar goes to go one-on-one with Toshiro. I mean, the man defeated Bambi, so I guess the man thought he was hot shit to go against the captain of Squad 10, the prodigy Toshiro Hitsugaya, and man just gets demolished, bro. Once again, bro, Toshiro is not like zombie Toshiro, dude. He ain't fucking around. My man is not playing. He is out for blood, and he is ready to take you down as soon as possible, which is what he does as he just slashes him and chops off his arm with a giant slash, man. And this thing was pretty funny, where then Mayuri creates this like barrier over like this like chain like barrier wall, whatever you want to call this barrier, in front of him and Toshiro from the Arrancar, which first of all I gotta say, once again looks amazing, man. The effects work in Bleach is top tier, man. Like, I don't know how people are coming after the animators and shit, saying it looks like shit, you guys should quit and all this shit. I don't even know. I feel they're just doing it just to be assholes, honestly, man. It feels like, One Piece clears, Jujutsu clears, you know, those type of people, man. I don't know. This show has looked absolutely incredible, man. But regardless of such, man, you know, that whole situation sucked when that happened like a few days ago, like a week ago, right after the last episode aired. But anyway, man, so afterwards, so Mayuri starts to chastise this like on Arrancar, saying like, dude, how could you think how could you believe that you were actually a threat to Toshiro, that you were on his level? And he says, as punishment, I shall leave you dying here. Like, man isn't gonna try and heal him. He ain't gonna know. He's literally just gonna sit there and let this man bleed out as punishment for not knowing his limits and knowing not to fuck with Toshiro. Gotta love Mayuri, man. He is something else. So he tries to hold a conversation with Toshiro, saying, like, I'm afraid I can't have you around killing my test subject. They realize he's a zombie, so, like, it's kind of pointless to try and converse with him. And, of course, Mayuri being Mayuri, he wants to test tons of drugs on him. He wants to test several drugs on zombie Toshiro. And then this is actually when the title card popped. And I gotta say, this gotta be one of the cleanest title cards we got for the transition, man, where the screen starts to, like, turn like really staticky as the title itself pops in, man. It looked really fucking clean, man. And I wonder if this is when he, like, injected him with the stuff to cause Toshiro to kind of, like, relive the same moment over and over again. We see later in this. Given the way it's, like, shot, everything, we see it getting all staticky, and where the episode begins right after once the OP plays, this is where the episode basically starts right back up again. I wonder if this is where Mayuri was able to hit Toshiro with the shot or the drugs or whatever he put into him to make him relive this moment over and over again. So then Mayuri fires off, like, this, like, stuff from, like, his fingers. It honestly looked a lot like Spider-Man's spider fluid, no lie. It kind of reminded me of Silk, because you guys know with Silk, she, in, like, excretes or whatever, fires off her webbing from, like, her fingertips rather than, like, you know, from, like, her, like, wit, from, like, her wrist, like Miles, Peter, and all the other people, and all the other spider people do. It just really reminded me of that for some reason. Before Toshiro and Mayuri starts clashing. So again, which one? I gotta say, the animation here looked great. Here, this wide shot where they're, like, just going at it back and forth, looked really great, man. I love this shot. So then Mayuri asks Toshiro is if he's surprised that someone that's been cooped up in a lab all day is able to keep up and predict his moves and block all his attacks. He explains that he added this device to his Zanpakuto that more or less predicts Toshiro's movements, that because like the eyes it has there, so that he can always block its attacks no matter what. So after this, when Toshiro then goes for the ice knee again, which, like I said, why hasn't Toshiro done this more often? Like, this is such a cool move, and it looks so cool. It's so awesome. It's so unique to Toshiro's Bankai and you know, his ice powers. I honestly question why he wasn't using this previously in the series. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, he goes for that again, but then Mayuri has, like, this, like, I don't know what it is, this, like, shield or something in his hand that blocks the attack. And he says, didn't you think that I perhaps goaded you into doing this attack because I knew you were going to attack, because I knew you were going to strike with something other than your sword? So he, like, lets it go, it goes around Toshiro's knee, blows up, instantly regenerates, he reconstructs the ice knee again, uses his Bankai, Danguren Hyoning Master, pronounce that right, which the shot is actually the same shot they used as his render for BBS, which I do have. I do actually have a zombie Toshiro, which actually, speaking of BBS, guys, fun fact, a couple days ago, you guys know that that was like around the end of the new banner they had, that had the second Bambi yet on it. Well, guess what? I actually not only scored Uryu, I got Candace and Bambi on that banner, bro. Actually, all three of them got like the same set. It took a couple sets, like that was a duplicate I got of Uryu, but I managed to get Candace and Bambi on the same step, man, which is fucking out because you guys know how much I love Bambi and how much I love Candace and of course Uryu, the OG, man. So that was that when I was able to get 3 5-stars in one pull, which I think that's the first time I've ever done that. I don't know. I don't pull. It's crazy enough when I can score 2 5-stars on a single pull, but to get the 3, man, that's crazy. That's insane, man. But yeah, so I got a Bambi in BBS. Now I just need to get the other one. I'll have all the Bambis, man. I'll be happy. But hey, I got Candace, so I'm good on that front. But anyway, just a little side tangent. So anyway, he then attacked. He once again stabs Mayuri with his Bankai. Which, once again, the shot itself looked amazing here when he has, like, with the ice protruding out of his back, and like you got Hyoning Maru's wings kind of like wrapping around, going upwards towards Mayuri, man. The shot itself looked amazing. Shout out to the storyboarders and of course Kubo as well for his amazing paneling, man. This shot goes hard, no lie. This shot looks amazing. And then right after Mayuri dies, we then get turned back to the past. Toshiro instantly recognizes, like, he's like, what the fuck is going on this? Then he attacks him again. They do the whole thing about, like, oh, predicting my strikes, yada, yada, yada. He uses his Bankai again, this time completely freezing over Mayuri. Once again, looks amazing. I love the animation here. And then once again, then time reverts backwards, and this is when he's wondering what the hell's going on, and this is when Mayuri tells him that he injected him with a drug that basically makes him live Groundhog Day. He repeats every time he keeps telling Mayuri, he relives the same over. So the dude's stuck in basically stuck living through Groundhog's Day for as long as he tries to keep killing Mayuri. But if he doesn't kill him, he can in his future can continue on uninterrupted. But then he says that if you return back to the past 10 times, there's an extreme side effect that happens, which of course which destroys Toshiro's equilibrium because it attacks or only goes to the hippocampus, which I believe it attacks hippocampus when you're short. Remember, that's how you don't know how many times you've been going back to the past. But after the 10th time, that's when it starts to affect your equilibrium. My bad. So then of course basically paralyzed. He falls down to the ground, and then you'll be paralyzed for at least 30 seconds. And of course, while all this is going on, Mayuri uses the opportunity to stab him with his Zanpakuto in the throat. And I love the animation here when we see it. His Zanpakuto transform into, I believe it's a Shikai form. I'm pretty sure this is a Shikai, not as Bankai. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the comic, but the overall animation when it transitioned over, man, that should look cool. Once again, the effects will look amazing. And then he injects him with this drug, and bro, Toshiro's Japanese VA, bro, was going on, bro. Man was screaming for dear life, man. And yes, you guys bet your ass this episode is going to be getting a double reaction. Not only because, of course, it's Toshiro focused, and you guys are much of Toshiro, but just to see how his English dub VA does with the scene, but also, of course, with Cherami, with the lolly Stern Rider, man. You know how much I love her too, so I'm looking forward to it because she was awesome this episode too, man. So I'm looking forward to how Cherami does this. So you guys are going to get the double reaction for this episode. Anyway, this is when we find out that Rangiku, Rose, and of course Shuhei's captain, I forget his name, all also got turned into zombies as well. And Mayuri says, he's like, so two captains have been turned into corpses. So pitiful, it's not even funny. He then sits his zombie Aran cards against the zombie Soul Reapers, as once again we can see Toshiro screaming his head off as we see like this black stuff covering over his body. Once again, amazing work from Toshiro's Japanese VA, man. Man was going off. Can't wait to hear this with his English W, because you guys know how much I love English, or Toshiro's English W, man. I love his work. He's amazing. Yeah, I am curious to know, with this, what's going on with Toshiro compared to what happened with Rose and Shuhei's captain, given they weren't screaming bloody murder when Mayuri injected them with looks like the same drug. But to talk more about that instead of what I think this could mean for them compared to Toshiro when we get to that part of the episode. So anyway, with that, we're back with Byakuya, where a man is doing like a 1v3 handicap match against 3 of the Stern Riders. You got Candace, you got Mustache Man, and the black dude. I don't know. Did we actually ever get his name? I don't know. Also, one of the guys I have to say, I love the music that was playing during this part of the episode with Toshiro and Mayuri, man. Bro, I don't know what song that was, but bro, that song they were playing right there, man, sounded incredible. Once again, shout out to Sagasu, man. He's been in this fucking bag this entire series. So first off is Mustache Man against Byakuya, which then Candace takes over, man. Once again, the effects work on Candace, man, looks amazing. Then the black dude comes in there with an attack called Morphine Pattern, and which does nothing to him because he can't find any openings with his spiritual pressure. And I also love we see the inside of his visor thing he got going on there. I love the look of it, man. It looks really cool. So his attack does nothing. He then just gets hit with Zenbone Zakura, just gets absolutely bodied. Then Mustache Man comes in there saying that he will defeat him and then defeat Ichigo, and he can join His Majesty's side. So then they both charge up to unleash their ultimate attacks. Byakuya hits Zenbone Zakura Kageyoshi, which they do reuse the animation from Core 1, but this time Byakuya's wearing his new outfit, which, you know, I mean, the shot itself looks clean as hell, so I don't really blame for reuse the animation, man. It looks fucking awesome, man. So he then gets absolutely bodied by Zenbone Zakura, and then last but not least, Candace is the final one to go down, man, and she wasn't able to get an attack off, man, because she lost her juice right at the end of it, man, which sucks. I hope that's not the last time we see Candace. I hope she kind of maybe comes back a little bit later on, you know, because I love Candace, man. Plus she's bad as hell. Lord have mercy. Not as bad as Bambi, of course. You guys know Bambi's #1 in my heart. Sucks she's dead, but hey, I got Candace. She's still alive, so there's still hope for me. I still got one. There still is one baddie, fucking Stern Rider left. There's one baddie. Lambert, she's all right too. I like Lambert mostly for her voice, man. I'm not really much of a lolly guy myself personally, but I love her voice. The other chick, whatever. I honestly don't really feel anything towards her. Anyway, so after all that, we then get back to Lambert and the other chick. Once again, I forget her name. And she's wondering where the hell Pepe is while she's also chowing down on an apple. Where the fuck did she get this apple, bro? Did Ryuk come down from the heavens midway throughout this fight and be like, hey, yo, girl, care for an apple? Like, when did this happen? Did she just have one in her back pocket, just chilling whenever she got hungry? Where did she get this apple? Am I the only one that's honestly questioning this, wondering where she got this fucking apple, man? Once again, her Japanese VA sounds amazing, man. I love her voice in the Japanese, man. Like, I probably would say I like her more in the dub, solely because she's voiced by Jeremy Lee, and you guys know, that's my own personal bias talk because you guys don't want to love Jeremy, but she's great in both languages, man. She's just awesome. Anyway, she says that the playing field more even with her powers. The other chick mentions that he's gross and that they can manage without him. But she says puke or peg, he's better than nothing. This is when we get to Shuhei and he's telling Byakuya, hey yo, Byakuya, I took care of one of the enemies. And then he looks around, he says like, oh shit, Byakuya took down 3 of them. And I love this, like, you can actually see, I love this little touch with the animation. You can see this in Shuhei to me, like, he kind of comes in there all proud, like, yeah, I took care of one of the Sturmite, and then he sees that Byakuya, like, just bodied 3 of them in, like, basically one hit. He's like, oh shit, I ain't shit. This is nothing to brag about, man. And you can kind of see it, the way he's drawn. His animation's like, his head's a little bit down. He's like, oh yeah, man, I ain't shit. It's funny, it's a little touch that I don't know if anyone else does what I did, man. But anyway, he then gets attacked by Byakuya for his trouble. Then Shuhei attacks him as they both are questioning why they're attacking each other. And Byakuya questions whether or not he's being controlled by the enemy or if he's the enemy in disguise. So then Shuhei says that they simply do him what Master Pepe wants. This is when he shows him, bro, I gotta say, the song that was playing here, bro, that boom, 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 boom. Oh! Like, I'm pretty sure we heard this song already in like a previous episode. I don't know if we heard the lyrics for it at all, but damn, bro, this song is clean, bro. I think it's kind of like a bit of like some like smooth jazz kind of thing going on. I don't know if that's the right genre I would use for the right genre for the song, but damn it, this song is smooth, bro. That beat, that boom, boom, boom. God, just so, and like we really got to hear it a lot because this basically went through the entire section of this part of the episode, so we really got to hear this song, man. But oh, that song is good, man. I mean, I know the soundtrack is apparently coming out soon. Apparently, they're advertising it, selling it, which hopefully that means that will be coming to Spotify and Apple Music and everything later, soon afterwards, so I can finally listen to the soundtrack and to really get into these songs, man. Speaking of announcements, they also did announce apparently there's going to be a new OVA for Burn the Witch. Apparently, it's called like Episode 0, which I'm assuming it's going to be adapting the initial one-shot for Burn the Witch that came out before, it kind of before it became an actual series that the anime adapted. So this is adapting that initial one-shot, which that's kind of cool. I'll probably do a review for you guys whenever that does come out. Anyway, so this is when Pepe the Love comes in there, man, or as I like to call him, knockoff Black Master Roshi, because I mean, look at him, you can't tell me there wasn't some Master Roshi influences with this guy. But like once again, man, this song that was playing here was fantastic. So he fires one of his love attacks over at Lambert and the other chick, and Lambert managed to dodge him, but the other chick was not so lucky. Ends up just socking Lambert, man, which is very funny. And just don't fight over me just because you love me. It never crossed my mind that if you all die, the glory will be all mine. Which, so yeah, that's what he really wants. He wants to have everyone fight each other so he can like take the glory and get his wish from Yuha for defeating everyone, or Ichigo. Which I definitely am curious to know who are they gonna get to voice this guy from the dub. I'm very curious to know which VA they're gonna pick for him. That I am very curious about who they end up picking for that, man. But regardless of such, man, we get back to Shuhei and Byakuya fighting before Byakuya hits him in the midsection with his with the hilt of his Zanpakuto, which takes him out. And then Byakuya faces him, saying you were running your mouth about love, but simply put, you can control people at your will. It also means cutting down the puppeteer will sever the strings from the puppet. So then he tries to fire off attacks against Byakuya with his love attack, but Byakuya manages to dodge him, ends up deflecting one of them with his Zanpakuto, and comes to the conclusion that he seems that his so-called love cannot control things without a soul. And he says, well, if you know that, why would you deflect, why would you block all my attacks when you were Zanpakutos? And considering since Zanpakutos do have a soul, then the Zanpakuto starts to attack him, which Byakuya ends up just like yeeting that motherfucker away, which he ends up regretting a little bit later on in the episode. As in, he also in Love explains that he didn't steal anyone's Zanpakuto during the Prosper because he could just steal them whenever he wants at any time with his love attacks. And he then tells like, you know, oh, it was stupid of you to drop to throw your Zanpakuto because you gave me an opening for someone that loves me to use a weapon that loves me. So Shuhei then grabs his Zanpakuto and starts attacking Byakuya with it, man. Once again, I guess the animation here looked great as we see Shuhei and Byakuya jumping from building to building as Byakuya is like blocking his Zanpakuto with his hands, which looked really cool, man. The animation here looked really great. So then, and now this part I thought was a little interesting, and I'm curious to know what the reason for this is that eventually Love is able to get a clear shot and hit one of his love attacks on Byakuya, but it does absolutely nothing to him. It just basically just like bounces off him, which makes me wonder. And he says like, "Oh, you have no love in you. That is just how dare you reject my love?" Which I do wonder what the reason for this could be on why his attack didn't work. And I honestly wondered if it may have something to the fact that because, you know, he lost his wife, you know, and of course we know which was like Rukia's sister or whatever, and all that. I do wonder if that's the reason because he lost his wife. He is a widower. I wonder if that has something to do with the fact that he did that, or why he doesn't have any love or anything like that, because of what happened to his wife. I don't know if that has any connection to that, but that's what popped in my head when I saw this scene. I was like, what if that has anything to do with Byakuya losing his wife at all? I don't know. You guys can tell me in the comments how close my theory is to reality. So then he unleashes his ultimate form, man. Then he like loses all his clothes except like his like underwear or diaper, whatever you want to call it. He also looks like a fucked up version of like Cupid or something, man. Which, you know, man got the wings, everything. Even has like the bow and arrow with like the hearts on it, everything, man. So it's like, oh, dude, I look just like a baby. Doesn't that make you want to love me? Nah, dog. So then he like managed to get like, so he fires up like these like love ropes, he calls it, into Byakuya, where Shuei's about to go for the killing blow, but he tells him not to, that he's gonna kill him with his own love. This one he pulls his bow and arrow out of his mouth for some reason, and right as about to fire the attack, he is then sent careening into a wall, where we see that Rose and Shuei's captain are back, now carrying those like black marks, signifying that Mayuri has now gained control of them. As once again Shuhei just gets absolutely bodied. Like I have noticed, Shuhei's been constantly getting bodied this entire arc. I've noticed, man. We've barely seen this man do much other than getting his ass kicked in various ways, man. I don't know if that's just me or not, but that's something I've noticed with how the Blood War's head is just Shuei's just been getting absolutely bodied. So then he hands back Byakuya Zanpakuto. This is when Mayuri comes in there and tells him that this is per time to test the performance of my Konosuchi corpse unit. And Byakuya thinks that this is all his doing, turn these guys into zombies. He tells him that in fact he saved them. This is when we cut back over to when Mayuri injected Rose and the other guy with that drug, which once again, which reminds me on top of this right here before we continue on right here. One thing I've wondered is why with them they weren't screaming bloody murder and the marks just kind of appeared on them, while Toshiro was screaming bloody murder when he was injected with seemingly looks like to be the same drug. I do wonder if maybe he did a different drug for Toshiro to maybe like see if he could like unzombify him. Maybe. I don't know if that is the case or he just did a drug that just killed him or something, but I don't know. I wonder if he tried to maybe see if he could like unzombify him or something. I don't know. I guess we'll find out in the coming weeks what happens with Toshiro, but yeah. Anyway, he injects them both with the drug, which they do scream, but they are definitely not screaming nearly as loud as Toshiro or as long as he was when he was injected with, I'm assuming, the same drug. And so, as they're transforming and get like those black marks on them, signifying that Mayuri has control of them, he explains to Giselle, who's hiding off in the fucking corner behind some rubble like a fucking pussy, and that for someone who only has low spiritual pressure, they only need a single drop of blood to reach their brain. But if they have high spiritual pressure, they're going to need to have that blood multiply within their hearts, and that's why captains and lieutenants have a dark red tint to their skin. Am I wrong? And once again, I gotta give the Emirs props for what they're doing with Giselle's face spreads. Like the key animation on Giselle's face spreads have been amazing. And once again, they are spot on here as well. And continues on saying that his drug alters the composition of that blood, and that he has the possession of and that this dude that fucking Mayuri is in possession of blood samples of every single member of the souls of every single member of the court guard squad in the Serete. This man has literally every squad member's blood just on hand at all times. First of all, I'm not surprised he does have this. He has this. But second of all, where the fuck did he get all this blood? Like, where does this, like, how does he procure this blood? Does he do it in their sleep? Does he, like, have every member of the soul side, whether there's a squad member up to the soul, to the Serete, he has a, hey, yo, I need to draw your blood? Does he go under the guise of a doctor? Was he talking with fucking, Urahana and the healing squad? Did he, like, steal samples from their fucking base or whatever? Like, where did he procure, where did he get all this blood? I genuinely want to know. Whatever. Mini side tangent aside, he has all their blood and uses that to replace and uses the drug to replace any foreign blood with the blood-like substance that he's created. And then Giselle still isn't really getting what he's saying, so he just jumps right to the conclusion. By injecting this drug, her zombies become his zombies. And once again, bro, Giselle's face here, man, is perfect. First, the amazing key animation from the animators. It looks amazing, detailed, but also this face screams, "Oh, I'm fucked. I am fucked. This is the end of the line. I have fucked up royally, and I'm going to die." And obviously, given all the shit she's done to Bambi, to Toshiro, obviously this face brings me great pleasure. This face gets me wet. And once again, also, I love the shot of Mayuri, which we saw another shot like this earlier, one where it's like completely covered in shadows, and we just see his sinister smile. Man, it looks amazing with the two captains behind him. Man, looks amazing. And then finally, the money shot, where then Mayuri stabs her, and she is dead. At least I think she is. I don't know. I have to check Kubo's Twitter to make sure if he's posted like a drawing of her. If she has, good. She's dead. We're done. Giselle is gone. Bambi has been avenged. Toshiro has been avenged. All is good. But whatever the case may be, we cut back to the future as Byakuya is telling them, why would you toy with their lives? You could have killed them and just added them. And he says, as usual, we have a difference of opinion. Don't you think it's the duty of the 13 Court Guard Squad to protect the Serete even in death? And Byakuya says that's rationalization. Say whatever you want. So then, once again, Love tries to attack. Pepe tries to attack or hits another one of his Love attacks onto Shuei's captain, thinking that, oh, I got this. I've already charmed one of Giselle's zombies before. But then Mayuri explains that that's not going to work, that they're no longer her zombies, they're my zombies, and his zombies don't understand love. So man just starts gets fucking star platinum as he just gets a barrage of punches, man. Looked amazing, man, which I hope someone posts like a little meme with changing sound effects with star platinum. Always like seeing them there, because I was saying them, I was watching them. Like every time I see like a punching barrage of this, I always just think of star platinum instantly. Anyway, he's sent into a wall where he's met by Lamprid, which, first of all, you actually see that there's a massive hole in his underwear where his ass is for some reason, right before we see Lamprid again. And then in another shot, it looks like his pants are completely off, which don't really know what all that's about, but hey, whatever. Anyway, this looked amazing. Guys, the storyboard, the key animation looked amazing. As we see her wings appear as she is marching towards Pepe, saying, "You tried to kill us by pitting us against each other. I'm sure you know how to take responsibility for that, right?" As she eats him, man. Great shit. We get to the end credits, man, before we do get a small post-credit scene where we see Yuha, Uryu, and Haschwald reach the Soul Palace. And yeah, that is where the episode ends. Phenomenal episode, man. I dare say one of my favorites of this core, just for the fact that Giselle dies. So, of course, for that reason, man, my favorite for this episode is going to be a 10! There we go. Out of fucking 10, ladies and gentlemen. As always, hope you guys enjoyed the video. You like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on my social if you're feeling it. Links down the below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.